They've got to start thinking about doing some ads for like a razor company or something. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So here's the drama now. Virtue and Moir, our TSN analysts the last couple of seasons, have returned to competitive skating. We've watched them in practice. You've seen them. And what have you seen?
Well, first of all, they've been on the ice since last February, so they have really dedicated themselves to the training of this. This isn't something that they just came in at the beginning of the summer, so very prepared their first time out at the Autumn Classic in Montreal. They put up scores over 77 points. What I've seen is a difference in their balance on the blade. Tessa used to get a little bit back on her heels, and that was risky. It was kind of a cool back line, but I think it could be their undoing sometimes technically. She's moved forward on the blade. They're also skating on the curves with more power. They're taking advantage of the curves, and that's their work with Marie France and Patrice and Roman Hagenauer. And I think, too, they've expanded just with new choreography. They've gone to David Wilson and their coaches. They're playing with a different style and a different look. And I think when you do that, that's just empowering. You know, they are so versatile as performers. They did a ton with Marina and Igor, and now it's time to move on and sort of spread their wings a little bit, and they're doing that, and I think that really feels good.
As you mentioned, they went to the Autumn Classic. They wowed the crowd. They wowed themselves. Still some work to do.
It was an interesting feeling taking the ice at Autumn Classic for the short program in particular, because mentally I felt like we were saying all the right cues and trying to put ourselves in the right spot. But as soon as the music started, we felt the pressure and we felt the need to prove something, and we sort of just got carried away with that. And uncharacteristically, we weren't able to connect again and sort of find that rhythm together. But we were so happy that happened. We had a long debrief with our sports psychologist afterwards, because it was a reminder, you know, it's been a long time since we've competed. And, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve to step back into that, but that's what we want. That's part of the appeal, is that challenge and that fire.
Well, they've always had that fire. We've watched them grow up in this sport and grow into the Olympic and world champions that they've become.
Yes, but it is key what they talked about. It's that dealing with the competition pressure, and the only way to prepare yourself for it is to come out in a venue like this. We saw it with Patrick Chan last year. He looked great in practice. He had a real tough time getting it out onto competition ice. Mao Asada, the same thing, the great Mao Asada. And so these two, I don't think they expect, well, speaking of Patrick
there
Chan.
He is, just arriving with Marina Zueva,
who was Tessa and Scott's former coach.
So you talked about pressure. I wonder how they feel right now. Usually they would skate last in a competition. They're going to skate in the second rung here in this flight. And they've already seen the number that Chalk and Bates have put up early.
Well, they know there's no room for error, but they would have known that anyway. They have to do their best, and they'll be fine with that. They know that. It's just emotionally just controlling their levels, not getting too pumped up, not wanting to try too hard. They have to find the zone.
So they'll go back and get ready. They're second to skate. Here's that flight.